Hi, I'm Vinod. I'm a product and solutions lead at Inflexiontech. Inflexiontech is a cloud-first company. We enable business transformation for our customers with the newest technology, and we are a focused SAP solutions provider. We build value-added applications and products using the SAP solutions like Rise with SAP, SAP Business One, SAP Business by Design, SAP SuccessFactors, SAP Ariba, and Customer Experience. We enable our customers to become intelligent enterprises with SAP Business Technology Platform, working with AI services, RPA, and seamless data exchange with Integration Suite. At Inflexiontech, it opens up an all-new avenue of service delivery and an opportunity to build enterprise-level applications to enable a digital future for our customers. We see SAP Business Technology Platform to be the technology enabler for our customers to enable and disrupt the current business model to cope up with the ever-growing changes and be competitive. So BTP being a simple and easy-to-use platform with a host of services brings in a great business value. There are several benefits for the SME customers. They do not need to have a large-scale team to manage and deploy their applications because it's a cloud-based deployment, and allow the customer to pick and choose the solution offerings and the licensing model which will best suit their business requirements.
Using SAP BTP, we were able to provide a quick turnaround solution to our customers with intelligent services like Integration Suite, RPA, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. One of our customers, SBGC, who is a manufacturer and distributor of perfumes globally, operating in UK, US, UAE, and France. We have implemented SAP Business by Design, where operationally there was a need for us to integrate with third-party logistic provider, e-commerce platforms, and retailers. To achieve this, we used SAP BTP Integration Suite services, where we were able to interface with multiple systems having different protocols like REST, OData, SFTP, and EDI. Our recommendation to other partners is to first start with SAP BTP free trial, where you can explore the services and build, prototype, and showcase the same.
BTP is a scalable platform. You can start small and grow as your company expands.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all staying safe, and I hope you can see the screen and hear us loud and clear. I'm Jenna, and I would like to thank you all for attending today's webinar, Create, Automate, and Innovate with SAP Business Technology Platform. I would like to make a few announcements. First, kindly note that this session is being recorded and will be published on our YouTube channel. Second, the Q&A mode has been enabled, and you should be able to see a question icon on the bottom right corner when you drag the side menu bar. Feel free to press the icon and type any questions during the session, and we will answer them at the very end. And now we will share a quick survey on your screen just for us to know you a little bit better. We would appreciate your participation for the same. Thank you all for participating. We will be sharing the results. Thank you. The agenda for today is as follows. First, we will be talking about who we are, followed by SAP BTP solution presentation, which will be led by our pre-sales and projects director, Mr. Ajay. Then we will be showcasing the solution in action, which will be covered by our product and solutions lead, Mr. Vinod. Finally, we will have a Q&A session to answer all your questions. We're sure that today's session will help you connect and automate your business processes with integrations, connectors, APIs, and best practices for a faster ROI. Before we dive into the presentation, I wanted to quickly share with you about Inflexion. We are a certified gold partner for the MENA region with offices in UAE, Lebanon, Oman, and an offshore development center in India. We are in business for more than 14 years and have helped successfully deliver more than 200 projects. We are able to provide quality service to our growing 3,500 SAP licensed users through our family of about 100 plus experts, of which 97% are SAP certified with combined 900 years of SAP solution expertise. Our deep-rooted SAP relationship, being a value-added reseller and build partners with PCOE and recognized expertise of solutions and industry vertical, provides us with an ability to deliver focused SAP solutions covering small, medium, and large enterprises, like the ERP solutions RISE with SAP, SAP S4HANA, SAP Business by Design, SAP Business One, and SAP Customer Checkout for point of sales. While we also have SAP SuccessFactors, SAP Ariba, and SAP Customer Experience for the line of business. And finally, SAP Analytics and SAP Business Technology Platform. We help you become an intelligent enterprise. SAP PCOE certification is awarded post-SAP audit, which ensures we have the process, infrastructure, certified people, and SLA to deliver quality support consistently post-implementation. Our SAP recognized expertise in SAP Business One, SAP Business by Design, and consumer products highlights our commitment to customers. This designation recognizes the expertise and competencies to distinguish our capabilities from competitors in the market. The requirements include having trained and certified individuals in a focus area or industry and a track record of customer success and satisfaction. Our SAP certified and highly experienced team of consultants not only provide implementation and rollout services, but can also migrate and upgrade your existing solution. Our SAP PCOE certification ensures high quality of support, maintenance, and service levels, while our build partnership allows us to develop specific customization and adaptation for your business requirements. We can help you extend and integrate with SAP or third-party systems as well. With all these, we serve as your single window provider for your digital transformation journey. That's about Inflexion and its expertise in a snap. And now let me hand over to our pre-sales and projects director, Mr. Ajay, without further ado.
Thank you, Jana, for your quick introduction. Good morning to everybody. I do apologize if I'm sounding a little bad. It's just that I have a little bit of a sore throat, but I was excited and did not want to miss today's webinar. Thank you again for joining on this particular topic of SAP Business Technology Platform. We intend to have multiple series. This is the first of the series that we are going to have, where we are going to be showcasing the integration suite capabilities of SAP Business Technology Platform. So the question that arises in our mind is, what is SAP Business Technology Platform, or SAP as it is, SAP BTP as it is abbreviated? So at the core of it, it's a platform. It's a platform which is offered as a service. So it's a PaaS solution from SAP. And it combines and brings together a host of solutions and services which allows you to quickly innovate and extend your SAP applications on the cloud platform in order to accelerate and meet the demands of quick business changes that are most prevalent in today's world. So the key elements of the SAP Business Technology Platform, or BTP, is application development. We have data management capabilities, analytics and planning capabilities, integration and artificial intelligence or AI capabilities, which are all unified in one single environment in order for you to be able to take notice of all of these and make and use them in one single application if need be. The focus of SAP Business Technology Platform is to provide an intuitive modern development environment. So pro developers like yourself, or citizen developers or business end user developers, could also use this platform in order to develop or deliver quick applications or solutions or extensions that would be required. Along with it being a platform, SAP also provides pre-built data models, integration flows, workflows, application templates in AI business services out of the box, which you can use as is, or you can also adapt them further to meet your business requirements. The self-service data discovery, modeling, planning, and analytics for business means end users can you do all of these activities without the need of IT or skilled developers in their environment. And also, since SAP provides this as a service, platform as a service, it's also available on a host of hyperscalers, and you can choose the one which is specific to your region or within your country and go ahead with that particular hyperscaler. So currently, SAP Business Technology Platform is available on Microsoft Azure, also available on AWS, Google Cloud, and Alibaba Cloud in China. So the next slide actually focuses on SAP strategy of how SAP Business Technology Platform forms the foundation of an intelligent and a sustainable enterprise. Today, all enterprises would like to become intelligent, and they also would like to become sustainable in order to keep their business growing as well as competitive, and to be competitive, and also at the same time be able to increase their green line, which is a talk of today. In order for that to happen, SAP has developed business technology platform, which forms the base foundation of its applications, on which are the different business applications which manages your end-to-end processes that comes out. And on top of that, we have industry specific end-to-end processes which can be extended to ensure that it meets your specific requirements. Again, the idea with business technology platform is to create as well as build and run the enterprise grade applications, and to extend SAP applications that you might have in your organization to work in a seamless manner. In order to do that, there are five main pillars that SAP Business Technology Platform is segregated or categorized under, starting with application development, where you are allowed to build and innovate new applications on mobile platforms or on browser-based portals. You have the automation capability in order to optimize and to automate various business processes within your organization with the help of infusing artificial intelligence as well, and robotic process automation, which brings about a whole lot of automation in order to reduce a lot of redundant manpower that you would have. Integration in order to connect and simplify various business processes and third party solutions in order to orchestrate data between several systems. You have data and analytics in order to be able to run cloud based data services as well. And this is to give the data the purpose that you require in terms of how you would want to use the data. And finally, artificial intelligence in order to infuse intelligence into your application in order to make certain intelligent decisions as well. Moving forward, SAP BTP cloud capabilities are basically various services that SAP BTP offers, and you can always pick and choose which of these services you would want to use in your organization or in your environment in order for it to be able to make a sustainable and intelligent enterprise again. It could be in the form of a database where you could have SAP HANA on the cloud, and you could then use this database in order to build further applications using low code or no code experience based applications with just simple drag and drop capabilities. Or you could also use a digital experience in terms of building mobile first applications with the iOS or Android SDKs that SAP provides in order to make or extend existing applications or create new mobile applications and experiences as well. Along with that, you have the artificial intelligence services with pre-built business AI models which are already available. For example, if you would want to use document extraction services in order to be able to read various elements of a document and then process it within your organization, then we have artificial machine learning based capabilities with artificial intelligence infused in order to be able to do that. Or you could have interactive sessions with your applications by using chatbots which allow for interaction with human like interaction with your applications as well. You have analytics and planning capabilities where you can build business intelligence and predictive capabilities into your dashboarding as well as reporting capabilities. Along with that, you can also do planning in terms of budgeting and forecasting for your organization by bringing in the data from your SAP platforms which you are running. And these could be various applications, and there are natively built business content which is also available. So SAP BTP Cloud Services again consists of multiple products, and these are the products that you can choose and use as subscription-based models. And that could also be applications like SAP AppGuire or SAP Business Application Studio, which is an integrated development environment which allows you to be able to create, compile, debug, as well as test the application and be able to run them as well. You also have ABAP environment in order to be able to do traditional ABAP based development for SAP applications. Workzone and Launchpad are again tools which are available in order to bring multiple SAP applications into a single unified interface in order for you to be able to get tasks and notifications as well as access your inbox across SAP applications in a single interface, not having to jump or log into the other applications. For example, if you're using SAP S4HANA and SAP Ariba in your organization, or SAP SuccessFactors from a HCM perspective with SAP S4HANA, then your notifications or reminders that you would get in relation to SAP SuccessFactors with regards to your document expiries could also be accessed within the SAP S4HANA inbox using the Workzone application itself. So that's an example of how SAP Workzone could make your life very easy and simple, where you have a homogeneous environment of SAP applications working together in a environment, in a unified environment. From an integration perspective, there is API Business Hub, which is a collection of APIs which are available from SAP themselves and from various SAP applications, along with open connectors as well, which SAP publishes in order for you to be able to interact and interface with multiple third-party systems. We have the SAP Integration Suite itself, which is a tool that we will be showcasing today in the demo. My colleague Vinod will be able to give you a demo of how SAP Integration Suite is used and what it looks and feels like, and how simple it is to build an integration flow or an iFlow as we call it. These could be cloud integrations or could be hybrid integrations that we do as well, depending on the need and requirement. And also they could be SAP master data integration, where you need to spread the master data uniformly across multiple applications. Again, take the case of SAP SuccessFactors or SAP S4HANA and SAP Ariba, where you would want the employee master data to be available in all these three applications, which can be used for different purposes. So for workflow purpose in terms of SAP S4HANA, or it could be in SuccessFactors for their self-service abilities, or to be notified as a buyer in SAP Ariba as well. So this is where Integration Suite plays an important role in order to bring all of these applications together in a single synchronized manner. So moving on to SAP Integration Suite. SAP Integration Suite is basically a tool which is available on SAP Business Technology Platform, and you can subscribe for this particular tool in order to be able to do integrations where you can connect and simplify various aspects of your business as far as data exchange is concerned. You can achieve seamless business process integrations, as mentioned, between various SAP applications and non-SAP applications as well. So again, this is not limited only to SAP applications, but as well as non-SAP applications. And then you can also use third-party devices or equipment or software in order to be able to build these integrations and accelerate the business outcomes that you're looking for in your organization. Again, there is a lot of artificial intelligence capabilities that are built into the solution, which will allow you to basically develop new integration, give suggestions to develop new integration methods based on the AI powered development and deploy environment that Integration Suite comes with. Since it's since we're talking about hybrid landscapes which are evolving, and essentially this could be hybrid cloud landscapes, it could be hybrid landscapes which are on premise, it could be non-SAP applications. All of these scenarios are again supported by SAP Integration Suite, where it could be application to application integration, where we are talking about a cloud application interfacing with an on-premise application in order to complete a business workflow. Or it could be an API managed integration where there is an event based trigger that is causing an API to be triggered in order to be able to consume a particular web service or a REST API that is available from an SAP or a non-SAP application in order to fulfill its requirements. Case being e-commerce integration, when we are looking at the available to promise in order to check the stock availability, or if in case we need to look up the price list of a particular product and see if there are promotions that are available. These are examples of event-based integrations with API management. Or it could be B2B integrations, which is the case that we will show you today in our demo, where we are talking about how two businesses can integrate with each other in order to provide a seamless experience as well. Or it could be integration advisor, as I mentioned, is a feature that is available, which allows AI based recommendations for integration artifacts in terms of the specification, in terms of various aspects in order to accelerate the integration process. Or it could be a traditional electronic document interface, which is a standard or a non-standard electronic document interface which could be used, because Integration Suite has the capabilities to manage all of these in a single application itself. Along with this, SAP actually helps you accelerate your integration capabilities by providing 2,400 plus pre-built integrations. And these integration numbers which SAP has providing is increasing on a day-to-day basis or on a month-to-month basis, because there are newer scenarios which SAP is publishing by default. And there are 170 plus business events as well, which are being published on this particular api.sap.com, which is the API hub, which as we call it, which SAP is managing and providing. It includes all the documentation as well as the APIs and as well as the integration flows that you can use and adapt. Use it as it is out of the box, or you could also adapt it to complete all the integrations that you require from a process perspective, whether it be lead to cash, issue to resolve, or plan to produce. You can see that there are multiple third party applications like Magento, Shopify, or Macanto, or it could be Chronos, which is being used in order for you to be able to achieve these integrations and workflows, including document compliance in terms of document signs, EDIs, or artifacts that are required in order to be integrated. One of the examples is the is what we would also show during the demo, is how in the form of KSA e-invoicing, integration suite is being used with document and compliance, a product of SAP, in order to ensure that the second phase of e-invoicing, which is going to be live from 1st of Jan 2023, is achieved using integration suite and SAP solution as well, in order to meet the requirements. So as mentioned, Integration Suite consists of multiple aspects of when you buy the license. It comes with an API Business Hub, which has all the integration packages delivered, pre-delivered for you to be able to use or adapt, or you can create once right from the scratch, as we are going to show you. And the integration again is not limited to SAP applications, it's also non-SAP applications. We also have the integration platform, where it is a middleware allowing you to be able to monitor the messages as well as manage the messages in order to be able to reprocess them or analyze the errors that are there. It also comes with advanced scripting capabilities in order for you to be able to transform the data types as well as map the data types into various target and source applications as well. All of this is what we will be also showing in our demo today after my presentation in a couple of minutes. And all this environment runs on a cloud platform backed with high availability from SAP, and it's all browser based, so you can access it anytime, anywhere, in order to be able to not only develop but also monitor and to be able to run these applications successfully as well. Again, from a implementation perspective, it also requires very minimal skills in terms of the development or IT aspects of it, in order to be able to develop these integration flows or deploy existing iFlows which are there, as SAP provides extensive documentation and support in order to be able to do this. And again, you can run these between on-premise, cloud, or cloud to cloud, or third-party applications as well. The numbers speak for themselves. You can see various organizations, how they have achieved higher flexibility as well as high amount of cost saving in terms of the KPIs that they have met. So you can see Harrods, which is a very popular retail store, has reduced 40% of its total cost of ownership by integrating various landscapes together, and also by reusing 60% of their existing PIPO integration content on Integration Suite. This is another particular example where current customers of SAP who are using the traditional PIPO middleware on premise can also migrate their solution onto Integration Suite and be able to reuse the integrations in order to successfully deploy them as well. Again, we have Toyota, who's reduced 50% of their integration cost with Integration Suite by reducing multiple middlewares that they were using probably in their environment and then unifying all of these on Integration Suite itself. So these are some of the numbers that speak volumes of how Integration Suite could be used. My final slide before we actually jump into the demo itself, which would be led by Vinod, is about SAP BTP and how it is commercially licensed. So SAP BTP is commercially licensed in 3 modes. So you have the pay as you go, where you are able to subscribe to the service that you require, and then you pay on a monthly basis as you are using or consuming that service. Or it could be a cloud SIPA agreement, or what we call as cloud platform enterprise agreement, where you buy a certain amount of credits and then you can use these credits to use various services which are individually priced. Again, it's more like a prepaid service where you are able to pay in advance and then consume those credits against the services, and you can always top these credits up, and these are again billed on an annual basis on actual usage of what you are using. Or finally, we have the subscription option where certain services like document extraction or Integration Suite can be subscribed as services built into a subscription model, so that you pay for the service that is being provided at a fixed rate regardless of the actual consumption in terms of the number of channels. For example, in Integration Suite, you don't have to worry about the number of channels or number of the endpoints that you would be actually using, creating, or the number of iFlows you would be using or creating, as this would be licensed as a single tenant. And we have different models of Integration Suite itself, starting with basic, standard, or enterprise, which has different levels of feature functionality as well. So today we would be looking at Integration Suite Standard Edition and show you how it is easy and simple to use. So you can choose between any of these 3 models depending on the manner in which you're using your application as well as you would want to use it. So that brings me to the end of my presentation. And before I hand it over to Vinod, I would like to also showcase or talk about the demo scenario that we would be looking at today. So in today's demo scenario, we are considering that we have a retailer or we have a customer of ours who is basically transferring their purchase orders in the form of a CSV on a secure FTP location, because they are using an on-premise solution, ERP solution, which is generating purchase orders, and they are able to process these purchase orders because they are using a legacy system. They are able to generate these purchase orders in the form of a CSV, and then they store it on a secure FTP site that is allowed or shared, or again, this shared SFTP site is something that Integration Suite also provides in order for you to be able to deploy the files. And from there, you will see how Vinod actually uses this particular CSV, picks up all the elements of it, goes through the various steps as you can see here, and then processes this and creates it as a sales order in our SAP S/4HANA Cloud application in order for us to be able to run and complete this particular sales order as well. So let me hand it over to Vinod, and Vinod will drive us through the demo. We are happy to answer any questions. Please do shoot out all your questions in the question and answer section as well, and we will answer them towards the end of our session today. Vinod, over to you.
Thank you, Ajay, and good morning, all. I'm sure by now we have a mental picture about what BTP is, and in specific, what Integration Suite is. Let's take a look at creating an integration flow. So I'm sure you should be able to see my screen now, and I am on Integration Suite home screen. So first, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and expand the left links. Just wanted to brief everyone on what these left links are, right? And as Ajay mentioned, if you're interested in using the ready-made workflows or the integration flows, we can go into Discover Integration Flow, and we should be able to, see a list of ready-made integration flows there. We'll look into if time permits. The design is where we will have an option to create one for ourselves, and the monitor is where we will be monitoring the integration flows that we create and deploy, right? So let me go into design and integrations. And this is where the packages will be. And we've been practicing some, so I created demo ideas. So I'm going to click on the create button here and put in a name, webinar mock run, right? And if you notice the name and the technical name, it does not have spaces. We all know, what it is like. And let me put in a description as well. It's a mandatory field there, right? And click on the save button. So these are some of the very basic details that I've put in to create, a package, an integration flow package. And when we go into artifacts, this is where all our integration flows will be listed, and we can create more than one, right? So I'll click on the add button, and as you see, there are multiple options here. I'm going to choose integration flow, and once again give a name. I'll call it PO to SO, which is purchase order to sales order, right? And also, if you notice, we have the sender and the receiver fields here. We'll be setting this up. We'll be configuring these as part of creating the integration flow, right? So with this basic details, I'll click on OK. So we have the the integration flow created here. Let's go in. And this is basically how the screen looks, right? So let's click on the edit button. And this is where the details will be put up, right? So I'm just going to, make some arrangements here so that it gives us enough space when we are working on, putting the components together, right? So I hope it looks clean. Perfect. Okay. So the sender, like what Ajay mentioned in the scenario, so we'll be reading a CSV file where the purchase orders are listed, right? I can quickly show that on the screen. So these are the two items in the purchase order that will be creating a sales order for, right? And these are the order name, item names and the quantity, right? So we'll come back to this, once when the flow is created and the sales order is created on S4 HANA Cloud, right? So to start with, I'm going to click on the sender, click on the arrow here, and make a connection to the start node. So we'll select FTP because we'll be reading a CSV file from a secure FTP server, right? And we'll basically have to set up the the connection here. So this is where I'm storing the file, the CSV file. What we just saw has been stored there. And the next field is the file name. We can either give a file name or leave it blank. If we give a file name, the system is going to look for a specific file name. So we'll keep that option open, right? So whatever is there in that folder, which is S4 HANA Cloud purchase order, will be read by the the integration flow, right? And the next is the address. This is the secure FTP server address. And I'm going to choose no encryption here. And for the credential, let me put this in and make a mention about it. What happens is this inflection FTP credential, what we see, those are not the username and password, right? So what basically Integration Suite does is it abstracts out the credentials and it provides a security material option where the iFlow creating individual don't have to worry about this, and the administrator can deal with the username and password, and they will share this object name and we can use it, right? So that's what this is. So the username and password is abstracted out, right? And this is the object name for the username and password that we'll be using to access FTP. So that's that. When it comes to processing, we basically are trying to define some parameters here, which is going to indicate what happens to the CSV file after processing, right? So post-processing, we have these four options: delete the file after processing, keep the file, but mark as processed. Third one is keep the file and process again and move file. For the demo purposes, I'm going to keep it as select as keep file and process again, and we'll move into the scheduler. And basically, this is we are scheduling. We are timing the iFlow as to how frequently it has to run. It is 10 seconds. It's too short, so I'll make it as 1 minute purely for the demo purposes. This can be configured based on the need of the project, right? So that's basically the connection from the secure FTP server to the integration flow. So that is done. Let's click on the save button here. I mean, I'm sure every developer does this as and when there is any change that is made, right? So moving on. So from start, we'll add a component. The first component that I would like to add is the CSV to XML converter. So what we'll be doing here is basically convert the CSV into a standard XML format, right? So to S4 are going to be REST calls, and REST supports, right? At a very high level, one saying the CSV will be converted to XML, XML to JSON, and then we'll be sending the request to S4 HANA Cloud, right? So as a first step, CSV to XML, we can go ahead and change the name to whatever is comfortable for us. I'll call it as convert CSV to XML, and these are going to be the parameters. I'm going to select an XSD file, which is a schema file, canonical format, which is nothing but a standard format XML, right? And I'm also going to mention saying look for parameters from the row node, not from root, right? So XML has this root and row, so we'll start from row, and I'll also say exclude the first line header, right? And this is going to be from the CSV field sequence, right? So that's basically setting up convert CSV to XML. And the next step will be to convert the XML to the S4 XML, right? So what we just did is converting the CSV to standard XML. From standard XML, we'll be converting it to S4 request format, and that's this. So I'll call it as SO mapping, right? Or maybe we can specifically mention it as S4 XML format mapping, right? And I'll go ahead and create a file here. So here we'll say SO mapping, click on the create button, and this is the screen. So I'll select the existing format, which is the canonical format, and I'll select the format that is expected from the S4 cloud, right? So click on open. And if you notice, we have all the fields listed in the XML. And one thing to mention is in the standard XML, under the row node, we have, it's a collection node basically, and we have all the items listed. But on the S4 format, we have this item and result is the collection. So we will first link the collection to collection objects, and then we will link the material, right? So these are the the items, and then requested quantity unit, right? And the rest of the fields, which is nothing but the sales order details, right? Sales order type is here. Sales organization field, sold to party. Requested delivery date, what happens is every time we make a request to S4 HANA Cloud, so the creation date will be automatically set. So we'll go ahead and disable this field, right? And the purchase order by customer, we will map this. And shipping condition, we just wanted to show, we'll be able to set the constant values as well, right? It's more of a comment, so I'm just putting in as 01. So this is basically how we wanted to map the standard XML to the S4 request format XML. So we also have an option to simulate and test if the mapping is right. So I'll go ahead and click the simulate button on the top right corner, right? And let me load a purchase order file. And here you go. So we have the purchase order listed in the standard format. I'll go ahead and click on the test button. So now it is trying to map the standard XML to the S4 HANA Cloud request XML. It's taking a moment here. Perfect. There we go. So, and as I mentioned, if you notice, row is the collection here, and there are two items, and on the other side, result is the collection, and we have the two items here. Okay, so let's click on the close button and go ahead and accept this mapping by clicking on OK button. So we're back on the flow. So once again, we converted CSV to standard XML to S4 XML. And from here, what we'll do is we will convert the XML to JSON, because that's what is, it's a comfortable option to use with REST API, right? So let's click on the plus button and convert XML to JSON. This is a pretty straightforward, conversion. There is not much that we have to do. I'll also put in a name as convert XML to JSON, right? And processing, I'll just mention saying suppress the JSON root element. Basically because XML has this root element and JSON we don't need to mention it, right? So let's click on the save. So we have the request object ready now, and let's prepare for making the connection. And I'm going to select this content modifier. So what I'm going to do now is to make a call to S4HANA Cloud, right, we need this CSRF token, which is purely for the security purposes. I'm going to fetch the token, store it, and I'll be using it when we are making a sales order request call, right? So here, so this is going to be get CSRF token. So that's what we'll be doing here. And I'll be setting the message header. And the message header, as I mentioned, it's a CSRF token. Right click on the add CSRF token, and this I'm going to say fetch it. And in the exchange property, so this is a step to note. What happens is we have the XML, right? And I'm going to store this XML in the SO payload property, right? So basically, we don't want to lose the JSON object that we have created. So that's that. So now the request header is ready. I'm going to add a request reply component. This is what is going to make a request to S4HANA Cloud, right? And make a connection to the receiver here. And the connection type is going to be HTTP, because we'll be making the REST API calls, right? And just a bit of alignment. So come to connections. I'm going to put in what the URL is. Here is the URL, and it is obviously going to be a get call, right? And this authentication is going to be basic, and this is another object that we have created of the user credentials that we'll be using to connect to S4HANA, S4HANA Cloud rather, right? And I'm interested in all the headers, for both the request and the response object. So that's that. So far we have created the JSON, the request JSON, and we also have the CSRF token fetched. And the next step will be to, use these header values to make the actual sales order call, right? So click on plus content modifier. So I'll be making use of, the token here, right? So this will be like S4 request call, right? And the headers are going to be the content type. This will be the application JSON. That is what we just prepared. And the next is going to be, the authentication type. I'll set it as true. Yes, we need an authentication to be done. And the third one will be the cookie. We will read the cookie from the already existing request header, right? And then add the final one. And guess what? This is the one, the CSRF token that we just fetched. Okay, and this is going to be an expression also, because we'll read it from one of the header properties. All right, so exchange property, there is nothing because we already got the property from the previous object here, and the message body is going to be this. I'm sure everybody will know what's line. Which we set here, right? So that's that, and there are some final things that we have to do. Add another request reply, and go ahead and add a receiver, and the receiver is going to be S4HANA Cloud, right? So let's make a connection. Sorry, click on the arrow and make a connection here and select HTTP, right? Here, I would like to say that the connection that we made to get CSRF token is, similar to what we need for making the SO request call. So I'm going to click on this. make a copy of the configuration and just paste it instead of typing in, setting everything up all from scratch. I'm just going to make use of the copy paste option, right? And for sure, I'm going to change the address, the URL here, because this is where we'll be creating the sales order, and this is going to be a post request, right? So your authentication and everything is taken care, and I'm also going to make an explicit mention about using the CSRF token that we fetched in the last call. Okay, so that's about it. So we are almost there. And as part of development, it is always a good practice to log the final output, so that from the development standpoint, you will come to know if the request has gone through. So what I'm going to do is just add a JavaScript node here and call it log. And I already have created a script file. I'm just going to load that script file here. This is the log script, right? So there you go. And just quickly, without taking much time, this is basically what the script is. Whatever is going to come in, I'm going to log it, right? So click on OK, and we have everything ready. Cool. So being here, so we have started from reading the CSV file from the secure FTP folder, and then converted into standard XML to S4 request XML format to JSON. Got the CSRF token, and then we are making a final call to create the sales order, right? And also we are logging in just as the best practice. So let me go ahead and deploy the package there. Click on yes, and we can see what's going on with the deployment here. So while we are waiting for the deployment to go on, I'm going to go the discover here, like what I mentioned. Okay, so these are some of the ready-made iFlows that are already available, right? And we can make a search here, or we can go ahead and select if we know if there is anything that is upfront. I will go ahead and search for the KSA package. I remember Ajay mentioning it, right? So there you go. SAP Document and Reporting Compliance Electronic Invoice for Saudi Arabia. So this is basically an iFlow to create an e-invoice and make a submission to KSA servers, right? So this is the overview, and these are the iFlows that are created, and these are the documents, supporting documents that we have, right? And we have the tags and ratings, for everybody to go ahead and put in whatever they feel. So if we have to look into one of the documents, I'm opening it in a separate tab, right? So here we go. So we have the detailed document, right? So I'll close it. So this is one way of using the iFlows, wherein we have the ready-made flows here, and if we find one which is suitable, we can pull that into our sub account, right, and configure them with our connections and go ahead and start using them. Okay, so I'm sure the deployment would have completed, right? So let's go back into design, webinar mock run, artifacts, and PO to SO is what we created, right? And I'm just pulling this up, and there you go. So deployment status is started. Just one thing, I missed this one thing. What happens is, if you notice, we take the CSRF token from first call and we use it in the second call, right? So we have to make an explicit mention saying use the session across in this in this iFlow. So I have to make this mention about on exchange of HTTP session reuse, right? So this was one setting that we had to make. I'll click on the save and make a quick deployment of this change. Yes. Okay. So coming back to the deployment status, it's getting deployed here. So while we are waiting for the deployment to complete, I would like to also show you that this is the S4 environment, right? And I'm already on the track sales order screen. So this is the customer reference. I have it handy because I don't want to take much time, right? I'll refresh it. So these are going to be the sales document IDs, right? So the sales document that we're going to create from Integration Suite, we'll make a note of it, come back here, and then take a look at the sales order that we're going to create, right? So the deployment is completed and it is starting the service. So shouldn't take much time. And once when the service is started, we'll go into monitor integrations, or we can even click on the navigate to manage integration content, right? So this is one quick way of moving into the monitor mode, right? So this is I'm sure it was pretty comfortable and straightforward in how we're going to create these iFlows, right? Uh, so that's that. Let me go in and be on the screen. So once it is started, we will know. The status is starting here as well. And the final screen that we would like to be is monitor message processing, right? So that's the screen that we want to be in. So these were some of the flows that we created. And if you look at this is the one which is completed, right? And so this is successful. And since we have set the schedule to 1 minute, if you notice the last ones did not go through is because the session was not shared between the expert calls. So wherein the CSRF token was not successfully sent. And once when we set that new setting, it has gone through, right? And I'm going to click on the incoming data. This is the log that we are making. And here we can find, the sales order number. There you go. It's 209, right? So I'm going to find the same number here. Let me go ahead and refresh the screen. And here we go. It's 209. It's created from the iFlow. Sorry. 209. I'm going to expand this. And these are the two items, right? So S4HANA Cloud Testing, the number of items are 5, and liquid coolant oil, it's 1. And this is what we saw in the spreadsheet here, right? So this is basically, how we can use the integration flow. In fact, it's pretty simple and straightforward, right? And also it is a low code environment, right? I hope it was interesting, right? And thank you all. I'll turn it over to Jenna.
Thank you, Vinod, for walking us through the demo. Before we get into the Q&A session, we have another quick survey that we would appreciate your participation in it. Please note that all answers are anonymous, so feel free.
Thank you so much for your participation. We will now move on to the Q&A session. Before we do that, let us share the results. So let me take the assistance of Jenna with the questions, Q&A mode. Integration with Fresh Sales is available. There's a question from Mr. Sam. Mr. Sam, Fresh Sales, I'm assuming, is an application and you would want integration to be performed with that. So as I can see in our integration hub, we don't have a connector for Fresh Sales, but we can always use the open connectors to be able to consume the REST API or the web services which Fresh Sales publishes as well. I hope that answers your question. If you have a follow-up question, please do feel free to type in the Q&A mode. So we have a question from Mr. Irfan. He says integration with Microsoft Teams will be done through BTP. As far as SAP is concerned, some of the SAP applications are already pre-integrated with Microsoft Teams. But if you do want to do further integrations, yes, you could use BTP in order to do integrations with Microsoft Teams. SAP and Microsoft are collaborating very closely on this particular aspect. So majority of SAP's applications are already pre-integrated with Microsoft Teams in order to be able to collaborate as well as share different applications and levels as well. We have another question from Irfan. It says, from where XML schema is selected? I will go ahead and answer this question on behalf of Vinod, but I believe the XML schema is derived from the payload of the API that we are going to consume in order for us to be able to map the CSV into that XML schema at this moment of time. Vinod, would you like to add to that, or?
Hi, Jay. Yes, in fact, the XML schema is there in the local computer, and as and when I make a selection, a copy of that is made on the integration suite, and it'll be used for it'll be included in the deployment. So that's basically how the conversion of XML happens.
So, Mr. Irfan, if you have a follow-up question, we're happy to answer that. You can type it in the Q&A mode. We have a question from Mr. Irfan. Please share the recorded video. Yes, this would be published on our YouTube channel, and Ms. Jana will be also sharing a link to the recorded video, which is uploaded on the YouTube channel in the upcoming days. So any further questions, we are happy to answer any further questions. We have about a couple of more minutes before we end today's webinar. We welcome you to share any more questions that you might have. Great. I would like to thank Vinod and thank Jana for participating and hosting this event with us jointly. Thank you for your participation. Look forward to the next webinar series, which is going to be on low code and no code. And we will be sure to send you the invites and publish the date shortly as well. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great day and stay safe.